Everyone, welcome to ESPN FC. The group stages for the Europa League have been drawn. It's just finished. Me and my hermano, Rodrigo, Faez, will take you through every single group, focusing on the group with the biggest team. And we will start with Group E, Manchester United, which I think is a tough group, really, with Real Sociedad from Spain, Sheriff Tiraspol, remember, who beat Real Madrid last season in the Champions League group stages at the Bernabeu, and then Omonoia, Nicosia in Cyprus. Real Sociedad finished sixth last season. They have really good players, international players. They've got David Silva, who will go back to Manchester after spending 10 years at City. This is not going to be an easy game for United.
Hi, Jules. Yeah, I agree with you. Real Sociedad side this season, they want to prove that they want to come back to be out there fighting against the big giants of the European football. That's why, for example, when I texted my guys at Real Sociedad, they were delighted to go to Old Trafford and play against Man United. I think it's going to be very, very amazing for them because none of the guys in the squad of Real Sociedad has ever played in a game like this. Anyway, if you compare Real Sociedad to Sheriff or Omonoia and Nicosia from Cyprus, I think Real Sociedad and Man United are going to go through without problems. The only doubt that I have is how Real Sociedad, without Isaac, which is now the brand new player of Newcastle United, could face Europa League against Man United because they don't have a striker. They have to sign someone really important, and I don't know who they're gonna sign. So depending on that, they could face Man United because Man United, for me, if you compare both squads, I think Man United is favorite by far.
Yeah, you're right. United and Real Sociedad should go through. Although Sheriff, you have to go all the way to Moldova. Sometimes the conditions over there are a bit tricky. And I mean, I think for Omonoia and Nicosia, who, by the way, the manager is Neil Lennon, the former Celtic.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and Northern Ireland legend. He's the manager now. They've got some experienced players as well. It's not on paper they are the weakest link, but it won't be easy to go there. It's a hostile crowd as well in Cyprus. So this should make for a very interesting group. We agree on United and Real Sociedad to go through. I agree with you. Real Sociedad, depending who they sign to replace Isak, will be more competitive against United or not. But for Ten Hag and his players, I guess they will have to be really focused to avoid any kind of bad surprises.
Anyway, Jules, let's see what Man United version we will see at the Europa League, because if we see the version that played against Liverpool, it would be the main favorite by far with Arsenal. But if not, if we see the Man United version that we saw against, for example, against Brentford, it's gonna be something tricky too.
Yeah, that's right. And I guess it's the same, Rodri, for Arsenal, who are in Group A. With PSV Eindhoven, who we saw losing to Rangers in the Champions League playoff in midweek. Bodo Glimt from Norway, the former Norwegian champions. And FC Zurich from Switzerland. Again, this is quite a tough draw. It's a tough group for Arsenal. Of course, Arsenal and PSV are the two favourite in there, and Bodo Glimt and FC Zurich are the two outsiders, really, and the underdogs. But Arsenal, like Man United, will have to be pretty focused and serious when they play those games, especially PSV, who have a really good young squad. Ruud van Nistelrooy on the bench coming back to England as well. Again, like United, this is not going to be easy.
No, it's not going to be easy. We know how PSV plays, and we know that, for example, traveling to Norway or to Switzerland is always very difficult in Europa League. Anyway, for me, Arsenal is the main contender to Man United to win the trophy at the final of the season, because I really like the way Arteta coaches Arsenal. I like the way he is. I like the way he sees football, and I like the way all the players that came the summer window transfers to Arsenal are going to be focused and are going to be commitment to say, okay, this is time for Arsenal to make something great in Europe. We know that it's not possible for Arsenal to play Champions League because what they did last season, but I think they have good players, and imagine Gabriel Jesus lifting up the trophy at the end of the season. That would be amazing.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think they are one of the main contenders, and I think this is a good way, in a way, of starting the competition, because you have to be strong and start strongly. Because the group is not an easy group. It could have been far easier for them in the draw. So this is a good one for Arteta and Arsenal, and let's see how they do the Thursday night, Sunday, etc. in this first few months of the season. Group B, Dynamo Kyiv, Rennes in France, Fenerbahce in Turkey, and Larnaca as well. This is not as strong as the two groups that we mentioned, E and A already. I expect Rennes. For me, as a French guy, this is a good draw for Rennes because I think they should be on the level of Dynamo Kyiv, even if Kyiv have more experience of European competitions. But again, it's a difficult conditions for them. They're playing Poland. It's not going to be easy. Fenerbahce, hostile atmosphere, but I don't think that team is very good right now. And then Larnaca, the weakest side in the group. In Group C, however, this is an interesting one for you because Betis, Sevilla are in there with Roma, with Ludogorets from Bulgaria and Helsinki as well. How do you see this one for Betis? They should go through really with Roma, don't they?
Yeah, I agree with that. The only thing is that, for example, playing in Bulgaria against Ludogorets could be something struggling for Betis because Betis is the kind of side that you expect a lot, but sometimes they fail when they have that self-confidence like, okay, we're going to play against a Bulgarian side and we're gonna win by far. And that's the key plays or the key games, better said, for Betis to say, okay, we have to get over this self-confidence that in the past season have betrayed the side. I think this should go through. Rome, for me, is a very, very strong team with Mourinho that has experience in the Europa League, and I think that that Betis has a great season to prove the rest of the European teams to say, okay, we have people, we have players, we have the supporters, and we can make something important in Europe in our history because they never go far in Europe League, for example. So that's why I think they have a great chance to make it.
Yeah, you're right. For Pellegrini, because they were so good last season, and yet in the end we were all a bit like, it could have been so much better in the Spanish Cup, of course, but also in Europe, maybe even in the league. Now they need to confirm it. Group D, I call it the hipster group, Rodrigo, because we've got Braga from Portugal, Malmo in Sweden, Union Berlin from Germany, and then Union Saint-Gilloise, who were the surprise in Belgium last season, led the league for most of the season, didn't win the title in the end, and were knocked out in the Champions League qualifiers by Rangers. But yeah, hipster group, some fun teams there, really good fans, really good crowds. It should be a fun group to watch. Group E, we mentioned the United group. Group F, Lazio, Feyenoord, Midtjylland, and Sturm Graz. Again, in this one, you could see Feyenoord and Lazio going through. Group G now, Olympiacos, Qarabag, Freiburg, and Nantes, the French team. Again, I think this is a good group for Nantes. Maybe you can say that Freiburg, certainly on the back of last season with Christian Streich, have had an amazing season. They've got really, really good fans. They're solid. They play with quite. They're very aggressive in the way they play. It should be very interesting for a non-team that maybe hasn't recruited in the summer the way they would have liked. But I fancy Antoine Comboiré to get his players pumped up for this competition. And then
the only thing, sorry for disturbing you, but the only thing in this Group G is Qarabag, the travel, because at least from Spain, it's like almost 8-hour flight to Qarabag, and that could be a little bit tricky for some players that doesn't really stand those kind of long trips in Europe. That is the only thing, because right. I remember when Atletico Madrid played against Qarabag in the Champions League, all the players were like, my God, like the legs and they were so tired when they got there. That is the only dangerous thing that they could face.
Yeah, no, you're right. You come home at like 5 a.m. on the Friday, and then obviously you have to prepare for the game in the league on the Sunday. So you're right. It's a very tricky one. Finally, Group H, Red Star Belgrade, Monaco, Ferencváros from Hungary, and Trabzonspor from Turkey. Again, it's a bit of it's not as hipster as Group D, but you see what I mean? Some of those teams are quite interesting. They're quite cool, some of them. I think Monaco should top that group. I think this is a really good draw for them. Red Star Belgrade, usually in the Champions League. Trabzonspor, they were very much the surprise package last season in Turkey, and for them to win the league like they did. And then Ferencváros from Hungary, not a very good team, probably the weakest team on that group. But do you know what, Rodri? I think, okay, this is not the Champions League, and we did the reaction to the draw yesterday together with Gab as well, and there were some very exciting games. I feel there's some exciting games there. The Real Sociedad Manchester United, the Arsenal PSV Eindhoven, the Roma Betis game that we mentioned, the hipster groups. there's some things to look forward to.
Yeah, it's gonna be funny. You were mentioning now Fenerbahce, Trabzonspor, or Red Star, and that group is gonna be massive for fans because of the way their supporters try to cheer their teams. I think Europa League is a box of surprises, and I think we know that Betis, Roma, Arsenal, or Man Utd are gonna be like the main contenders or the main favorites with Monaco, Nantes, and these kind of teams. But there is always a surprise, so that's why we really enjoy Europa League.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.